Welcome to Exam Sale. In this voiceover I will guide you through the syllabus for the VMware Professional vSphere 6.7 Exam 2019 and tell you exactly what to study and practice. The exam is split into 5 domains with fixed weights. Installing, configuring, and setup is 25%, administrative and operational tasks is 25%, performance tuning, optimization, and upgrades is 20%, troubleshooting and repairing is 20%, and architecture and technologies is 10%. Each domain includes a focus statement, difficulty level, estimated learning time, and assessment style, and we will summarize what you must learn in each area. Use these weights to prioritize your study and hands-on practice. Installing, configuring, and setup carries 25% of the exam, is rated medium difficulty, and has an estimated learning time of 35 hours with hands-on and conceptual assessments. You will learn to deploy the vCenter server appliance and install XC hosts, including configuring an external platform services controller when required and managing vSphere licenses and backups. Expect to configure networking with vSphere standard and distributed switches, manage distributed port groups, set virtual switch policies, enable network I/O control and LACP on distributed switches. On the storage side you will set up NFS and ISXi adapters, create VMFS and NFS data stores, configure storage I/O control and VSAN, manage storage policies, and implement multipathing and failover. Administrative and operational tasks is 25% of the exam, considered easy, with about 30 hours of study and scenario-based assessments. You will master virtual machine lifecycle tasks such as creating and deploying VM templates, managing snapshots, using content libraries, and deploying VMs from OVF and OVA files while handling guest customization. Resource management topics include configuring vSphere HA clusters, setting up DRS and DPM, implementing fault tolerance, managing resource pools, and configuring proactive HA and VM to host affinity rules. This domain tests your day-to-day operational skills and ability to maintain business continuity through correct cluster and resource configurations. Performance tuning, optimization, and upgrades makes up 20% of the exam, is hard, and requires about 25 hours of focused learning with scenario-based assessments. You will learn to monitor and analyze CPU, memory, storage and network performance using vSphere performance charts and desktop, configure alarms and notifications, and perform capacity management for predictable growth. Lifecycle management topics include upgrading the vCenter server appliance and XC hosts with vSphere Update Manager, updating VMware tools and virtual hardware, migrating from Windows vCenter to VCSA, and applying patches to vSphere components. The emphasis is on diagnosing bottlenecks, applying tuning best practices, and executing safe, supported upgrades. Troubleshooting and repairing accounts for 20% of the exam, is hard, and has an estimated 40 hours of learning with scenario-based assessments focusing on real incidents. You will diagnose XC host connectivity and vCenter server service issues, analyze log files for root cause, and resolve VM startup and high availability problems including vMotion failures. Storage and network troubleshooting covers data store accessibility, ISXi and NFS connectivity, virtual switch configuration errors, network performance bottlenecks, and VSAN health issues. This domain tests your methodical approach to isolation, log analysis, corrective actions, and verification after repairs. Architecture and technologies is 10% of the exam, rated easy, and suggests about 15 hours of conceptual and scenario-based study to understand core concepts. You will be able to describe all components of a vSphere environment, explain XC hypervisor architecture, and identify vCenter server components and platform services controller deployment models. The domain also covers the fundamentals of vSphere storage and networking architecture so you can map components to use cases and operational impact. Mastering this area gives you the conceptual foundation to support practical tasks in all other domains. Use the domain weights and estimated learning hours to build a study plan that mixes documentation review with hands-on labs and scenario practice. Focus your time, invest heavily in hands-on work for installation, troubleshooting, and performance tuning, and use shorter conceptual review sessions for architecture and routine administrative tasks. Good luck with your preparation and approach each domain with both practical exercises and targeted review of the listed topics.